As I dove into the fragmented mind of the main character, I immediately knew I was in for an extremely different gaming experience. Publisher and developer Playmind have released a game so obscure that playing it is your best option for a full perspective. And I won't lie, I had a little trouble reviewing this game because the idea behind the theme of it was so involved that I really didn't even know where to start. So I'm going to try and break it down for you the best that I can. The story is a rough one to describe because for me it was quite hard to follow, but this was the appeal of the game. I wanted to know the mystery of the story, where it was going, and exactly what was going on. You start by following a mysterious shadow into the nightmare of your subconscious. Throughout the story, you appear to be reliving the memories of your childhood that had an intensely deep impact on your life. Also, at the same time, you're trying to overcome them to restore a little peace of mind. The theme is absolutely brilliant and makes for an unnerving, surreal experience that you won't soon forget. But in the end, the story is a nightmare in itself and could have meant so much more than what was presented to you, but we'll never know because it was done with so few words. The gameplay was interesting because it combined platforming, stealth sequences, and puzzles. Now the platforming, although simple, felt good. I didn't have any issues with the controls. In fact, thankfully, they held up quite well because the loose controls that indie titles are notorious for would have been unbearable in this game due to the many stealth sequences. I also felt the puzzles were the perfect ratio of difficulty. Not too hard, not too easy. This balance really made the gameplay flow because the clever puzzles weren't too frustrating and I could just concentrate on the experience. But not all was great. I did get turned around in what felt like was designed as a rather linear game. On top of that, there were collectible memories with no apparent purpose other than pointless filler in the game. Also, the game took about 2 hours to complete, and this was just far too short. So when discussing the graphics of The Inner Friend, you have to talk about the atmosphere of the game as well. Simply because the game's eerie gloom that engulfs you when you're playing. This mood contributes just as much as the beautiful visuals. Also, not only is this game gorgeous, but the obscure models and scenery are amazing. Every memory is a fresh, artistic, graphical experience with mind-bending effects. For instance, lighting plays a huge role in the game as memories and objects glow bright all around the main character. Also, the game consistently has you wondering what lies behind every shadow because shadows are everywhere. As far as the soundtrack goes, it's horrifying and beautiful all at the same time. I say this because the mood and melody of the soundtrack moved from one of absolute horror to one of peace and wonder. It really was a unique experience and added that extra immersion to the game. The Inner Friend caught me by surprise and is a brilliant game. Hats off to developer Playmind for this surreal experience, but the game still suffers from one major downfall. It's just too short. I'm giving this a 7.5 out of 10. Like always, thanks for watching, and if you enjoy our content, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, check out the BG4G Hub website for your latest news, reviews, and everything gaming.